Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. This is Horror Trans. I am Stephanie Bree. I am a transgender woman, and I'm talking about all things horror on this channel. And today we're tackling Hollow Man from, we'll say, the turn of the century. It was either late 90s or early 2000s. I know it was before, or it was either 2001 or earlier, and I know this for a fact because in 2000 I watched it in 2001, in the summer of 2001. So this is at least 2000. 2001's the latest it could have come out because I watched it on video. So that's when this movie, about the time this movie came out. This is Kevin Bacon, of all people, and some other people. Kevin Bacon is not on my list of good actors. He's not one of my favorites. In fact, I think I already put him on my list of worst actors of all time, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember if I've published that list yet or not. But I do not. I'm not a fan of Kevin Bacon, by and large. But he works in this movie because he's a total dickwad in this movie, and I buy Kevin Bacon as a total dickwad. I mean, he just looks like an asshole. He's got the asshole face. And he plays asshole well in this movie. So, Hollow Man is a modern, I'm not going to say remake or retelling, but more of a reinterpretation of the Invisible Man story. Basically, you have a group of scientists who are playing God, and they're working on creating a serum of sorts that will turn people invisible. Now, they're testing it on a primate, and I'm not going to get into the specifics of what type of primate because I'm not versed in my animal kingdom knowledge. So I'm not going to say ape or gorilla because I don't know the difference and I don't know which one it is. But I am going to say it's a primate because that's easier. And if I remember correctly, which it's been a while since I've seen this movie, the primate dies in the transformation. But I don't remember 100%. But Kevin Bacon's character, in a overnight coffee, Coke fueled workaholic way, solves the riddle and figures out how to turn himself invisible. Once he becomes invisible, because he is a creep, he does creepy things. He rapes a girl. Actually rapes a girl. This isn't ambiguous. We see it happening. And then he kills his scientist friends one by one until they, kill him and escape the survivors. And that's pretty much it. That's the movie. Now, the special effects are, I believe, mostly CGI, from what I remember. I have not watched any behind the scenes, but they look CGI. They look like early 2000s, late 90s CGI. So think Phantom Menace era, the Matrix era, to get an idea of the special effects. So they're not great. I'm going to tell you that right now. They're not great. But they're workable. They're not awful. They're not Anaconda bad. That's for sure. But anyways, the plot isn't great. The kills are decent for the most part. They're not great either, but they're good enough. And it's a fun movie to watch. Fun in that, it's an asshole being an asshole, and he gets his comeuppance, and that's what you want to see. But trigger warning, which I should have put earlier, but I already did talk about the rape. This movie isn't for everybody, because the sexual assault will turn some people off. It's a character moment in that it defines his character as a scumbag who figures out, hey, I'm invisible. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Because I have to back it up a little bit. When he first becomes invisible, they lock him up and don't let him out. He is trapped because they're going to study him. because they're scientists. That's what they do. He goes insane because he just wants to fucking go walk the streets and get a cheeseburger, so he escapes. And he does kill people in his escape. And that's when he realizes, fuck it, I'm invisible. Here's a hot chick, let's bone her. And he does. And it's pretty gross. It's pretty sickening. I had originally considered marking this as a buy. But now that I've talked about it and I've revisited it in my mind, I think I'm going to rate this a rent. I'm going to say this is one that you might want to watch if you're curious and go, okay, that's the best they could do. Because it's really not a good movie. And the only reason I was going to give it a buy is because when I watched it the first time, I remembered liking it. But now, looking back on it, I don't think I would like it if I rewatched it. And I've only seen it like maybe 2 or 3 times in my life, which tells me I must not like it that much because I don't watch it very often. So I'm going to go ahead and say this is a rent.